Have you ever tried to lose weight, but the number on the scale just wouldn't budge? Or maybe you lost a little weight, but a week later, you gained back even more than before. Dr. Jason Fung is a metabolism specialist and believes the main reason losing weight feels like an unfair battle. It's something called the body's fat thermostat. Basically, it's an internal metabolic mechanism that decides how many calories your body burns and how much it stores as fat. So when you push yourself with very strict diets or extremely intense workouts to burn more calories, your body can actually fight back, and sometimes quietly undo all your efforts. Imagine we start eating less. For example, we eat 500 fewer calories because we want to lose some fat. Well, at first, when you lose fat, this thermostat notices what's happening, and what does it do? It makes sure that the lost weight comes back. So it makes you hungrier so that you eat those 500 missing calories. And if that doesn't work, your body simply shuts down or slows down its metabolism to burn 500 fewer calories. What's the result? Now you're eating 500 fewer calories, but your body is also burning 500 fewer calories. So you still don't lose weight because you haven't reset the thermostat. And even worse, the toughest struggle is usually for those who are very overweight or those who have lost a lot of weight before. The reason is that their body fat thermostat is set and locked at an unhealthy weight. No matter how hard they try, their body constantly tries to bring them back to that previous heavy weight. The effect of the body fat thermostat was proven in clinical studies more than 40 years ago. Researchers examined the number of calories people burned and compared 3 groups. The first group was the control group. They were ordinary people who weren't overweight. The second group were people who were overweight. And the third group were people who had been overweight but had lost weight. The results were interesting. The control group burned about 1,400 calories per square meter, which for an average-sized person is about 2,000 calories. Those who were overweight also didn't differ much from this group. But the interesting point was about the third group. That is, those who had been overweight and had lost weight. Because their body's thermostat was set to a higher weight, but they were maintaining a lower weight by eating fewer calories. Their bodies were burning much fewer calories. If you compare the daily calorie intake, this difference is significant. Normal people burned about 36 calories per kilogram of their body weight per day, while those who had been overweight and lost weight barely burned half that amount. That's why you really shouldn't just hurry quickly to the gym immediately or torture yourself with yet another diet to lose weight. Instead, your focus should be on learning how to use your body's fat thermostat as a tool for burning fat. Dr. Fung explains that, like everything else in the body, this thermostat is also controlled by hormones. Some hormones like insulin, cortisol, and ghrelin cause weight gain. Other hormones, known as incretin hormones, work in the opposite way. They help the body shed excess weight. There are certain hormones that raise the body's fat thermostat. How do we know this? Because when we give these hormones to people, we see that they gain weight. On the other hand, there are hormones that lower the thermostat. How do we know this? Because there are medications, like the GLP family, GLP-1 and glucagon, that when given to people lead to sustained weight loss. Or for example, if your sympathetic tone is stimulated, the fat thermostat goes down. A well-known example is nicotine, which causes weight loss. Of course, it has a lot of other harms, but it does make you lose weight. But there are healthier ways than nicotine. For example, Dr. Jason Fung recommends delaying breakfast or skipping it altogether. This recommendation is based on your hormones' behavior right after you wake up. When you wake up, your adrenal glands secrete cortisol, or the stress hormone, which raises your blood sugar so that your muscles and brain have immediate fuel. That's why you feel alert in the mornings. But when your blood sugar goes up, your pancreas naturally responds by increasing insulin. Now, if you eat breakfast within the first 3 to 4 hours after waking up, you're actually making things worse. Your insulin levels increase even further, and your body's internal fat thermostat switches to storage mode. In addition, the hunger hormone ghrelin gets activated and makes you crave snacks and want to nibble throughout the day, even when you are not hungry. By delaying or skipping breakfast, you do exactly the opposite. Extending your fasting period lowers your insulin levels, switches the thermostat to fat-burning mode, and your body gets its energy from stored fat. That same energy that cortisol had previously released. After that, the incretin hormones kick in and take the place of ghrelin. As a result, you feel less hungry throughout the day, and the food you do eat is used more efficiently for energy instead of being stored. Because the thermostat is set to burning mode. Clinical studies also confirm this. Those who regularly skipped breakfast had better insulin control and fat metabolism compared to those who ate breakfast every day. In fact, not eating breakfast led to about half a kilo more weight loss compared to the breakfast eating group. So the claim that skipping breakfast makes you gain weight, which many nutritionists say, actually has no real scientific basis. Another thing is that they looked at how much food these people ate overall. Meaning, if you skip breakfast, do you end up eating more or less food throughout the entire day? The answer is you eat less. If you skip breakfast, on average, you consume about 260 fewer calories over the whole day. So it's not like if you skip breakfast, you'll eat more at lunch or snack more to make up for it. And that's what explains the weight loss. If you don't eat more, your weight won't go up either. So the best available evidence says that skipping breakfast leads to eating less overall, and as a result, helps with weight loss. In addition to skipping breakfast, you can activate incretin hormones by changing your diet. For example, adding curcumin, the active compound in turmeric, to your food can boost the GLP-1 hormone. That's the same hormone targeted by drugs like Ozempic. This means less appetite, lower blood sugar, and slower stomach emptying. But most importantly, GLP-1 directly affects the body's fat thermostat in a way that's great for weight loss. This compound is found in turmeric and many curry spices. In the past, people used it for type 2 diabetes. But now it's been found that GLP has a very strong effect, and because it creates a feeling of fullness and lowers the glycemic index of food, it's really beneficial. Fiber also helps activate incretin hormones. Fiber naturally slows down digestion and keeps you feeling full for a long time. At the same time, it interacts with gut microbes and leads to the secretion of GLP-1. What could be better than that? Fiber goes into the large intestine where it's fermented by microbes and turned into short-chain fatty acids like acetate, butyrate, and propionate. These cause the secretion of GLP to increase. So if you eat more fiber, you hit two birds with one stone. First, fiber has volume, so it activates the stretch receptors in your stomach. It fills up your stomach. Fiber passes through more slowly and isn't like white flour that gets digested quickly and sends your blood sugar through the roof. Fiber is heavy and moves slowly, so it slows everything down, and by the time it reaches your intestines, you'll feel really full. So, in summary, if you adjust your eating routine so that you delay breakfast by 3 or 4 hours, fill your lunch and dinner with vegetables, and replace salt and other things with curry powder or turmeric, you are directly affecting the hormones that control your body's fat thermostat. Only then can you expect real and lasting weight loss. Thank you for staying with me until the end of the video. Please hit the like button and the hype button below the video so this video can reach more people. And watch these videos as well for more information. Until the next video, take care.